I knew we should not have come this way, says the stag, looking daggers at the pigeons. When animals know they are going to die, they withdraw here, so they may do it in peace. I think of what Sydney said about making her final journey. This forest must be where all those we have lost have come to spend their last days. And now I understood why we haven't seen any of the remains of other animals taken by the berry eye. This is where they come to die. I look around at the pillars of black trees just visible in the gloom. I shudder to think how many animals lie beneath them. I'll wheel the stag around to face the direction we came from. In this case, pigeons, lead us another way, back out of here. But they don't move from their drooping branches above our heads, ruffling their wings and turning their heads away from me. It will take too long now. This wood runs as far as we can see in any direction. Even the white pigeon stays quiet, with nothing to add. He won't look at me either. Wolf Cub stares at the ground. Come on, this is no time to give up, I say to the stag. But he doesn't move, doesn't reply, doesn't even look me in the eye, just stares straight ahead. No living animal will ever walk through a forest of the dead. I look at the mouse, who does a very short and stiff dance of respecting the dead on the stag's back, sticking her legs out at awkward angles in turn before silently shaking her head. Yes, well, I'd love to join you, but I've got this new dance I want to learn, you see. Her voice trails away. The dance of cowardice, I reckon. Polly touches me on the shoulder. What's going on, Kester? She picks up the bone again, examining it, picking bits of moss and leaves off. Then I see her begin to understand. You mean they won't come because they're scared? I nod. There's only one thing for it. Pushing past, I start to march on, down the path, further into the wood, and they cry after me, but I don't look back. I made a promise to these animals to lead them. I have to show them there's nothing to be scared of. Alone. I haven't gone very far away from the eyes of the wild before I suddenly feel very cold. Rubbing my arms to stay warm, I keep on walking as the path twists and turns beneath my feet. There is no wind, no other sound apart from my own breathing, faster than it was. It's pitch black, only the faintest streak of light on the glossy leaves fringing the path. We don't have long before the red-eye claims more than their final journey. At the ring of trees, I am sure of that. I have to hope this will work. So I begin to listen for any sound, any cries or rustling, but there is only stillness. If anyone out there is alive, I say into the stillness, then come out. Don't be scared. I'm the wildness. I'm here to take you to the city and find you a cure. Nothing. I try again, this time louder, but nothing comes back, not even a whisper. So I say it again and again, repeating my words over and over, louder and louder. There must be some left. Everywhere we have been, even though we've been told all have gone, we've always found some still alive, even in a graveyard. There must be, if only I knew how to find them. All I can hear is my own voice echoing inside my head. All I can see is the deathly darkness all around. If only the pigeons hadn't brought us here in the first place. If only... The pigeons, of course! I don't know why I didn't think of it before. They're cool. Slowly, trying to copy their sound, I begin to imitate the song the pigeons sang by the river after we lost Sydney. It is how we let other animals know our deepest feelings, they said, and that is what I will do. I know I might be out of tune, but I sing the same call, the same list of lost birds, hoping that any sick animals who might still be alive will hear and come and join our wild. My voice starts to waver, but I keep singing, humming where I can't remember the words, and then there's a scuffling sound in the bushes to my left, then another to my right. I keep on singing, my voice growing shakier and shakier, when there is another rustle from the shadows to the left, closer this time, and then one to my right, behind me, and in front of me. I call out to the noises in the shadows of the forest. Show yourself, whoever you are. We are not afraid. Nothing comes in reply. Slowly I sing again, and the scuffling starts. Quick, breathy noises, moving quickly either side of the track, faster and faster. I am Kester James, and this is my wild, I say to the scuffle in the shadows. We are going to the city to find a cure for the virus. If you have something to say, show yourself now. And then there is a voice from the bushes. A voice that is dry and cold. A voice that gets right under my skin and chills me to the bone. I know who you are, Kester James. Who are you? The voice gives a dry laugh. That does not concern you, but know this. You say you lead animals. You say you speak for animals. I was appointed wildness. Silence! Suddenly the voice is on the other side of the path. How did it get there? You are a human. You will never speak for us. The voice spits and stings at me with rage from the blackness. You think you can command all creatures with your voice? You think all animals will love and praise you for what you're doing? The voice laughs, mocking, echoing around me. You have never even been more wrong about anything in your life. I look around frantically in the dark. Then why not show yourself? We will, Kester James, when the time is right. Have no fear of that. The voice grows quiet, like wind in the trees. Yours is not the only wild to survive. There is another. We will come when you least expect it. We will come in plain sight. You have been warned. The scuffling around me grows louder and louder. I take a step back, and then the noise stops. Hello? But nothing comes. The wood is as silent as it was before. And then, bursting through the undergrowth, directly out onto the path in front of me, is a ghost. The ghost of a rabbit bouncing down towards me through the bushes. A ghost in a graveyard. But ghosts don't come right up close to you so you can touch their fur, feel their whiskers, hear their heart hammering away, see their red eyes burning. His body is stick thin, but he is alive. Was that you? I say fiercely. Was that you who spoke to me like that just now, Rabbit? He looked alarmed. I never said a word, he assures me in a soft, old voice. Definitely not the voice that just spoke to me. I came here to complete my final journey. I thought my time was done, and then I heard your call. He twitches his whiskers. If you don't mind very much, I'm a hare. A brown hare. Sorry, I just thought you were something else. Someone else. I scratch my head, confused. But you're not a bird either. A call of loss is a call of loss, he says simply. It works. It actually works. So I try to forget about the voices in the bushes and sing the song again. As I do, the hare starts to join me, his voice reedy and thin, and he adds words of his own, more strange new names that I copy and learn to call for myself. He calls, oh, hedgehogs, dormice and red squirrels, polecats, pine martens and otters, pipistrelles, long-eared bats and brown bats. As our voices rise and fall, out of the bushes roll a large mouse covered in sharp spikes and with bare patches here and there. She rubs her dry nose and turns her pink eyes towards me. Hedgehog, she says simply, you called. The hare and I look at one another and we sing some more. Then a whole family of long, furry, white-faced creatures spinning out in a mess, fighting over each other, the youngest ones nothing but bones and skin, introducing themselves as polecats. They can only just stand, but when they see me standing on the path, singing with the hare, they start singing the call too, until we must be making enough noise to wake the dead. And we stand there, me and these animals, that everyone thought were dead, singing and singing a call for those that still live to find us, and we sing till no more come. Ha! Says the general, as they all see me trudging back up the path. The ghosts of those who sleep were too much for you, were they? The stag hangs his head, and even the wolf cub looks at the ground. No, General, I said. But what if they are not yet asleep? I wave my hand, and up behind me come the hare, polecats and hedgehog, along with some rabbits, pine martens, and even a few bats flitting around their heads, some of them so small, but more real than any ghost. If any of them was the creature that spoke to me from the bushes, they don't speak up. Polly looks like she can't believe her eyes. The wolf cub bounds up to me. You are the best waker of the dead in the world, Wildness! And slowly the stag lifts his head towards me and nods. For a moment he stares deeply into my eyes, and I wonder whether to tell him about the voice in the bushes. But then I think better of it. There is nothing to fear in these woods. Listen. I start to sing the pigeon's call again, and all the new animals in the wild start to sing the same call. My wild rejoin me, and the new recruits, and they all start to sing together, although the white pigeon appears to be singing the call backwards. I even hear the general sing for the first time, as he calls out for tawny earwigs, diving beetles and sedge jumpers, great blues and checkered skippers, damselflies and hoverflies. We march on through the forest of the dead, singing the pigeon's call. I listen out, but I don't hear any more nasty voices, and instead, slowly, surely, some more animals begin to come as we sing. I record each new arrival on my watch with flash after flash. As the path runs along the leafy bank of a little stream, a toad joins us, singing out in reply and hopping along the bank. I give Polly the toad to hold in her lap, and she screams out loud. But the toad doesn't scream out or actually do anything gross. He just sits there, crawl as you like in her lap, watching the world go by. When I next turn around, Polly has him cupped safely in her hands. She is the only person not calling, because she can't hear or make the words. But every time I glance at her, the toad sat in her lap, butterflies and bees now buzzing calmly around her hair, she smiles, and I realise, animal or not, she is as much part of this wild as the rest of us. Next, a pair of otters emerge dripping out of the water and slink along behind the wolf cub. Some more birds, calling their own names in reply, join the pigeons up in the sky as the sun begins to set. Shrike and yellowhammer, redpoll and woodpecker. The bank gives way to a sandy shore, and we all scramble down to drink from the stream trickling over a bed of flat pebbles. As the stag bends his neck to the water, Polly and I slide off, scooping handfuls up into our chapped mouths and splashing it over our heads, washing the soot of the fire clean away. Back on the shore, a red squirrel hops down to us, bringing some nuts for Polly and me. The stag lies down against the bank, and Polly and I huddle close together, leaning against his furry belly, the others lying all around. There are not many. There are only a fraction of the names we called, but the forest isn't so frightening anymore.